Yes. Did I say October? I said August. You know what? Because I'm just reading. But we all know it's September. So, yes. And it's all good work. And it's infinite. Yes. So, we are going to move on to the next slide. Okay. The founder of Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, offers these words of wisdom regarding work. We are in the partnership with an infinite mind. The name of this partnership is God and Company. The supreme intelligence, the universal creative order, the dynamic law, and the all-perfect presence. This is God, the silent partner. We are the company. This partnership always has been and always must remain. So you are the CEO. All right, and here's another reading from Holmes on work. Expectancy speeds progress. No matter how much good you experience today, expect greater good tomorrow. Know that no matter what others may say, think, or do, you are a success now, and nothing can hinder you from accomplishing your good. Nothing. Let's affirm together. The doing of good work in the world is a wonder to behold. Yes. And I say, and so it is.
Done that now, is given them the month before instead of the month of. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Michelle. All right. Living everyday wonder. Have you been steeped in that this year? I mean, in truly thinking about what that means, because it's a reminder that if we are not living in everyday wonder, what? We are not paying attention. We're not paying attention because wonder is within us and all around us. So I'd like to start with the things to say if you get caught sleeping at your desk at work. You ready? Here's the first one. I was meditating statement. The second one, this is a 15-minute power nap raved about in that time management course that you sent me to. Next one, Candace will love this one. I was doing a highly specific yoga exercise to relieve work-related stress. Another one. You just interrupted my creative process. I came so close to finding a solution to our biggest problem. Oh, here's one that Dan will like. Someone must have put decaf in the wrong pot. And the final one, and this is actually the number one best thing to say when you're caught at your desk sleeping at work, is, and so it is. Work. The thing that so many of us spend most of our time doing. And even if we're retired, there are things that we do throughout the day that we consider to be part of our work, right? So work, yes. So I'd like everybody to broaden their understanding of work and realize that we're all engaged in work at some point, of some kind, because work is purposeful activity. So September then is dedicated to living everyday wonder while working. And it is steeped in the awareness that, first and foremost, we are spiritual beings. And we are having a spiritual experience 24/7. There's no time in our lives in which we are not having a spiritual experience, whether we're aware of it or not. Why? Because we are pure spirit. We are pure spirit. And we live, move, and have our being in an infinite universal mind, or spirit. So our lives are spirit expressing. And in that infinite mind in which we live, move, and have our being lives a field of all possibility and all potentiality, available to us 24/7. And so, with that in mind, we enter this entire month with the question in our minds, what if we added a state of wonder to our work activities? What would happen? And I really encourage you to check that out, to run an experiment and find out what happens if you bring a state of awe and wonder to your everyday activities. You know, the pandemic experience has been quite a spiritual experience, hasn't it? I mean, here we are for the first time without a mask being a requirement, in our Sunday services. We can actually see smiles, which is lovely. And yet we also respect those who still, want to wear masks, because it is, I love the idea of it's optional, and we respect all choices that people make. So think of the impact that these last few years have had on work. Think of it. Some people have lost jobs. Some people have begun working remotely when before they were commuting all the time. Some people have come to the awareness that their work was was having a real negative consequence on their lives, so they stopped working. And some people decided that they were not going back to a work that was paying them an unfair wage. So there's been a really huge shift in our cultural perspective on work that's taking place. So pandemic, and this is the spiritual perspective, has acted as an evolutionary driver, having us look at this thing that we call work and ask some really powerful questions. Live in a state of wonder, like, what would it be like if I did my work differently, or if I had a different kind of work, or whatever the question might be. So I'd like to illustrate from a viewpoint of my own life, actually my daughter Christy and my son-in-law Ryan, because I think their life is a pretty good example of all the things that happened around this thing called work. So Christy and Ryan, prior to the pandemic, were both commuting to work every day. And they were actually taking their children downtown Wilmington to the First State Montessori. So there was a lot of travel time that was taking place all the time. In addition to that, Ryan had a job that required him to work an extraordinary amount of hours, and it was having an impact on the family. Suddenly, lockdown, the pandemic. They were required to do their work from home, and they were required to do homeschooling with the boys. And it's interesting because Christy had always wanted to do homeschooling. She thought that would be so cool to do homeschooling. So here they are. They're at home working at their computers and trying to do homeschooling with the kids at the same time. And if you know my grandsons, they don't sit still for very long. And in addition to that, they really love to go up and get their parents' attention, like right in the middle of everything. So it was a real challenge. But this new work style had some pluses and it had some minuses. The pluses were that they were saving money and time not commuting. That was a big one, a big recognition. And they, even in the midst of all that was going on, they actually had more quality family time. And I remember Michelle and I once took a walk with them around their community. They live over in Pike Creek. And they were in the middle of the work week, there were all these families walking together and having quality family time. And it really dawned on me at that time, this is one of the advantages of what's taking place with this pandemic is families are actually having more time with each other. And so then there were pluses and minuses with that as well. Because one of the minuses, there were some minuses, and the minuses were that there was more stress, more conflict, and more exhaustion trying to keep the boys on task. And at the same time, a realization that, you know what, homeschooling is not what I want to do. So we could put that one to rest. So the solution that came out of that was Ryan got a job working for a company remotely run by women, and they believe in a 40-hour week. And in fact, if they see Ryan working more than that, they speak up and let him know, you know what? No, it's important for you to have balance in your life. So that's a huge, big deal. It's really brought a lot of harmony to their family life and a lot more quality time with each other. And it's just been really beautiful to see what's happened in the family. In addition to that, they decided to bring Tristan to the local school, which he can walk to, and he's thriving there. And we found a school for Rowan that deals with his ADHD, and he is thriving there. So a lot of wonderful things came out of it and around this thing called work because of the pandemic. So to me, I was looking at that, and how does that tie in today? Well, I think it's because the pandemic, as an evolutionary driver, got my son-in-law and my daughter to wondering, is the lifestyle that we were living in really serving us? And if it's not, well, what can we do about it? How can we change it? And then they did. So by living in the question, and that's wondering, how could we bring more balance and quality into our family life? Answers came and solutions came, and their life is a lot better for it. And we are so grateful. So by living in wonder then, very challenging situations can give birth to new solutions and innovation. Tara Leamy once said, "Wonder is the starter kit for innovation." Wonder is the starter kit for innovation. So my intention today is to help us to awaken to the amazing power of bringing wonder into our work activities, to expand this idea of wonder and work. And so the three things that I'm going to be covering is wonder as appreciation for what is, wonder as a way to receive divine guidance, and expectancy, the ingredient that speeds progress. So, wonder as appreciation. I'd like to start with this quote by St. Augustine. He said, "People travel to wonder at the height of mountains, wonder at the huge waves of the sea, wonder at the long courses of rivers, wonder at the vast compass of the ocean, wonder at the circular motion of the stars. And," he says, "they pass by themselves without wondering at all." Pass by themselves without wondering at all. So wonder, what is wonder? It's the definition that I got was it's a feeling of amazement when centered in the present moment awareness that opens us to see the beautiful, the unexpected, the unfamiliar, the inexplicable that is happening all around us as well as within us. Wonder creates a state of awed admiration and respect. Beautiful, this thing called wonder. So I'd like you to take a moment now and feel amazed in wonder at the miracle of your own life. You know, when I asked you to set an intention this morning, it was with my awareness that every single person in this room matters to the co-creative process of what happens in this service. Every single one of us matters. Our intentions matter. The way that we show up matters. And so I'd like you then to think about the miracle that you're contributing to the spiritual community. Think about it for a moment. What is the miracle you're contributing to the spiritual community? So, whatever it is, I'd like you to feel amazed at if you are just simply here to be present and be part of the community, feel the value of that. If you've contributed to the vision of CSL Delaware in any way through the visioning process, feel into that. If you're on a SAVA team, the offertory team, the Facebook team, the audiovisual team, the aesthetics team, if you're a Sunday presenter or you're a musician or you're a licensed professional practitioner, class instructor, retreat leader, leader of the board, one of the two boards, or on one of the two boards, and there are many other ways in which people serve in this community. Wonder, be amazed at your contribution. Feel that. So can you sense the miracle? I mean, look around. Can you sense the miracle that is taking place in this community right here, right now, in this moment, as transformed lives, as awakening to new possibilities? So most of us give more of ourselves to work than any other aspect of our lives. And what if we brought wonder as appreciation to our work setting, to the work of our hands, the work of our hearts, the work of our minds? What if we lived in the awareness that every part of our lives is a miracle unfolding? So that's appreciation, that's wonder as appreciation. How about wonder as guidance or as a path to guidance? I mean, that's exactly what happens, right? When we turn within and when we're doing visioning and we ask, what is God's highest idea of my life, this spiritual community, this project, this team, whatever it is, when we go within and we ask that question, we are clicking into a state of wonder. When we really truly let go, when we wonder, when we go into the silence, and when we listen. So it truly is a path to guidance. Socrates once said, wonder is the beginning of wisdom. So the present moment where life, work, and love are happening is where we have access to wisdom, guidance, and the ever unfolding vision of our lives that is sourced in the infinite good God presence within us. That's what we bring forward as we tap into that by living in a state of wonder. So let's put wonder into practice right now for guidance. Are you ready to play with me? Okay, so let's take these questions into our consciousness and notice how they feel and notice what comes up. The first question is, these are all what if questions to stimulate wonder. What if proficiency at work depended upon having wonder as the standard operating procedure? What if it was a policy to have wonder when we work? What if it did? What if that was the ingredient for proficiency in our workplace? Just notice what comes up as you contemplate that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What if the way to achieve good work is to live in wonder about everything, to not leave anything out? What if solving our greatest problems, personally and on the planet, requires that we ask more questions instead of think that we know it all and listen for divine guidance? What if wonder, meaning noticing and celebrating all the miracles that happen throughout the day, leads to a state of flow and grace and synchronicities? Wonder is pretty powerful, isn't it? Wonder as a path to divine guidance. And so the last one is expectancy speeds progress. And I like to add to Holmes' quote, expectancy is the ingredient that speeds progress. And he says, no matter how much good you experience today, expect greater good tomorrow. And know that no matter what others say, think, or do, you are a success and nothing can hinder you from accomplishing your good. Nothing can hinder you from accomplishing your good. Expectancy, expecting the good. So when I thought about expectancy, I immediately thought about faith, trust, confidence. They're all intertwined. Expecting the good is having faith that only good is happening in my life. And we know that the creative power of that. So faith then speeds the progress of turning possibilities into real solutions. Real solutions. Why? Because and this is where science of mind comes in, because it activates the universal creative medium, or the universal law of mind is what we call it, that surrounds us, that fills us, that responds to our attitude, our intention, where we're placing our intention, our words, and our thoughts, and brings them into manifestation. That's why, in Michelle's class right now, we are all practicing letting go of things that we don't want to manifest. So that means letting go of complaints, letting go of gossip, letting go of criticizing, letting go of all those things which are things we don't want to manifest in our lives, so that that which we do desire is able to have fertile soil in which to grow. So let's yawn and stretch, everybody. Ah, yeah. 3 yawns. Ah. And then close your eyes and then wonder for yourself, what is my key insight or my key takeaway from this message today? Listen, and when you're ready, turn to someone and share. Turn to either one or two other people and share. Uh-huh.
Creating right now, I'm creating a vision for what I want
Mm-hmm. Okay.
by deciding what I want and what I don't want.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I'm wondering what's it.
It's a great invention. Ah. So this week, I encourage you to bring wonder to work, all activities that you would consider work, and expect good things to make an appearance. Expect that the work that you do is good work because it is the work of Spirit and you are the presence of Spirit, and that it truly is contributing to heaven on earth. All right! And so it is.
Thank you, Kathleen.
You're
You know what I
welcome.
love about this teaching is that it's practical. It's very practical. So my friend Tom and I are really happy to be here and bring our music to my home.
Yay!
I really appreciate having him here. And we are going to be doing a concert, a house concert at Bumblebee Farm on October 1st. So please mark your calendars and join us October 1st. And for right now, we're going to do a song I wrote called Water Up a Hill.